Mr. Angelos, Mr. Rifkin, pleased to have you here. I think you've been here a lot, so which we appreciate.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is John Angelos. I'm the representative of the ownership of the Baltimore Orioles and the executive vice president of the club. I'm joined here today by Mr. Alan Rifkin, who is the club's general counsel. Madam Chair, commissioners, and staff, it's our pleasure on behalf of the club to be here today to talk about the potential for a permanent long-term partnership between Sarasota County, the Orioles, and the community of Sarasota. As you know, we have been in this community for some time, operating our minor league baseball operations at Twin Lakes Park and contributing as a going concern and as a corporate citizen of this area. We were quite pleased and honored to be invited by the county and the city some weeks ago to come down to the area for the purposes of talking more broadly about the potential for a public-private partnership that could do all of the things that Major League Baseball and the individual 30 clubs are able to do. Those things, as has been discussed in great detail and very well outlined by the staff, and in our discussions with commissioners, include creating a tremendous amount of direct economic impact from the club into the area, include the incubation of tourism and the creation of an economic engine that drives tourism from our home area, which encompasses and comprises the 7-state Mid-Atlantic region, which is today the 4th largest media market in this country, such that we might put all of our various resources to bear to bring our home fans from the Washington, Baltimore, and Mid-Atlantic region to this area. One of the things we wanted to talk to you about today was the vision that we had once we were invited to talk with you all about putting together a long-term partnership. The vision that we had and continue to have today is that we would create the greatest possible value back to the local community that we could conceive of. We studied all of the various arrangements throughout the world of spring training. We are very familiar with the details of those arrangements and what each of the great 30 clubs in Major League Baseball are able to bring to their local partner communities in Florida and Arizona. And we made it a mission statement in bringing our initial proposal that we would draw on all of our resources to create the greatest and finest value components we believe, taken separately and together, create a unique and we would modestly say, or some might say immodestly say, a unique and an unprecedented offer, an unprecedented value to a community. We think it's the most valuable concept that's been presented in this community, but we think it's at or near the top of any concept that any team has presented in Florida or Arizona. We're not only proud to present it, but we've been very gratified to get all the feedback and all the response that we've received from both commissioners and staff in our effort to revise it and make it even more valuable than we had originally hoped. So we hope that we've been responsive and been able to achieve value, as certainly we have put our efforts towards that. On the cost side, I'll say just a few brief things about the cost of the project. We've worked with the preeminent architects in the country, designers, engineers, and construction firms to attempt to make this project as cost-effective within reasonable bounds as we possibly could. We think that the cost, while we know it is significant, and we do not trivialize at all the gravity of the total cost, and we also appreciate that to the extent that any tax dollars, even tourism-generated dollars devoted towards a tourism-generating purpose, are appropriated, that is an important and serious matter, and we don't offer up project costs lightly. The project cost that we see today is a project cost that was indicated to us as advisable and wise by all of the experts in the field who build these facilities. They tell us that not only would the team be ill-advised in paring down that project cost such that the job doesn't get done appropriately, but that the community would be shortchanged in the process, that the parks and recreational benefits are not maximized if one does that the tourism incubation is not maximized. We will look at anything in an effort to drive that cost down. That money does not go to the team directly. That money is strictly directed towards a construction project, analogous to a public works project in this community. And it is a one-time project spent in this community with construction firms in this company and other firms, and it creates jobs in this community. So that one-time annual investment, a portion of which is funded by local government in our conception of it, and with all the appropriate approvals, of course, but a portion of which is funded by state government, which the Orioles essentially bring to the project by virtue of our qualification in 2006 under the state criteria for, under the OTED criteria. We believe that it's a one-time investment that will pay dividends in the form of the value that I articulated earlier. So when we look at the cost-value ratio, we feel comfortable that an annual return to the community in total economic impact of $53 million plus the mass and value plus the intangible values that's recurring each and every year, that recurring value to the community warrants, in our opinion, in our respectfully submitted opinion, that warrants a one-time investment of some magnitude by both public and private sources. We think that the payback is so significant, that the economics are so stunningly in favor of the community good, that we advocate it to you. And in fact, we wouldn't advocate it to you, and we would not have brought that proposal on the first day or today or any time in between if we didn't stand behind it, not only in terms of the philosophical benefit for the community, but in terms of our willingness and our commitment to fulfill each and every promise contained within that proposal. From time to time along the way, questions have arisen. Will this component be included if we strike a partnership? Will that component be included? That's an easy question for us to answer. We wouldn't have put any component in the proposal had we not intended to fulfill those components and fulfill all aspects of the proposal, both upon execution and every day after that. Moreover, this organization as an ownership group and all of those who are associated with it stand for over-delivering on our promises, over-delivering on our representations. We told the staff and the commission early on that there was a value we associated with this proposal, and there were naturally questions about that, and those were good questions. We were gratified but not surprised to learn that when independent consultants assessed our representations, they concluded that we had actually undersold the matter, that the value of our combined proposal exceeded everything that we told you. We're, as I say, gratified but not surprised by that. And that being said, the important point to us is that the annual return to the community far exceeds a one-time investment by public and private sources. We're happy for the opportunity to be here today. Mr. Rifkin or I will answer any and all questions that you may have, of course, or that staff has for us. We advocate this idea to you because we think it's one with merit and one that we will stand behind every step of the way should you choose to approve it. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.